So what do you think about Nifty? Let's see what Nifty has in stores for us. How do we approach Nifty coming into this week? Uh, so this is a Nifty chart. Nifty, let me analyze first daily chart and then we'll see what is going to happen. See, daily, we are at this moving average support. So basically, we are at this moving average support. So basically, usually the first attempt to break this support will usually be a failure. Not only that, we have a support area here. So there was a previous support here. So the support was somewhere around 19,300. So market came to 19,300 and we are bouncing up. Not only 19,300, we already have one more moving average support sitting around 19,255. So markets are certainly at support area. So Nifty certainly is at support area. So no questions and no doubts on that particular setup. So usually market, when it comes to support area, we usually tend to have one bounce. Now, where this bounce will end, this bounce according to me will end somewhere around this area, which is this support. See, there were a couple of attempts to break this support area, which is sitting here, which is around 19,600. So what I see is market might find support around 19,600 levels. So first, this up move most likely going to end around 19,600.
Sir, support or resistance?
Sorry, resistance.
Yeah.
So in the previous batch, I was totally speaking about support area. So support is coming. Okay, so this is a support. Support is around 19,300 to 19,250. So between 300 and 250, there is likely to have a bounce, which is witnessed. Not only that, if I go to an hourly chart, we already had a divergence on hourly chart. So this support area turned into support area. So basically, market bounced up, most likely to bounce up from this area, which is around 19,200, 300 levels. So 250, 300 levels is certainly a support area where we have to watch, and markets are bouncing up from 300. At 300, what we have on an hourly chart is basically a divergence. So basically, daily is at support and hourly showing a bullish divergence was a clear recipe for this bounce. Now, what will happen after this bounce is a concern. So what will happen after this bounce is basically this is the support area which markets are struggling to cross, which is around 19,565 and 600. Now around this area, we have two things we have to look at. One is this long-term moving average on hourly chart should act as a resistance. And old support could also become resistance. And not only that, we have an hourly chart on a RSI, we have a negative reversal on RSI. If I compare these two highs and corresponding RSI values, we have a negative reversal on RSI. So basically, we will have one more dip from here, maybe tomorrow or day after. So this market will have some struggle to cross 19,600 because this is not a chart where we will see up move like this, where you came down and then a V-shaped up move. Most unlikely one more dip. And if this dip doesn't go below this gap, see yesterday there was a gap up. This gap up, this is the gap which, if this really markets are finding support here, this dip that I am anticipating, this dip should not go below 19,400 levels. So now I will have to say this for 05 August. What am I expecting is Nifty. For me, on a daily chart, we are bullish. Daily is bullish because we are at crucial support, which is 19,300 / 19,250. This is the support area, which probably even if the dip comes, market might likely to find support at 300 to 250 levels. Hourly, we are at resistance at 19,600. Plus, we have a negative reversal. Plus, we have a long-term moving average resistance at 19,600. Where are we right now? We are about 30, 40, 50 points or maybe 60, 70 points away from 19,600. So this is not an area where I would create a long positions. Where I create a long positions. So there might be some kind of a sell-off around 19,600. So for me, 19,600 becomes a resistance going into this week, trading week. Now from 19,600, the dip, most likely, the dip, if it is still bullish, this dip should find support at 19,400 support. If 19,400 gets respected on this dip, if 19,400 is respected, then we could expect 19,600 to be crossed this week. So for me, 19,400, 19,600 is an area where I will have to make decisions. So I will look for strength at 19,400 to go long. At 19,600, because 19,600 usually may happen first, we do not know because global markets are not looking strong yesterday. So we might see a dip or we might see a gap up and then sell off. That we do not know. But only thing that I can probably think of is 600 becomes a resistance, 400 becomes support. In this area, we will play sideways. If 400 gets respect on the next dip, we will most likely to see a 600 break and further move up. 600, 400 becomes a crucial area where we have to make a decision as far as the technicals are concerned. Bank Nifty looks slightly weaker. Bank Nifty actually speaks about correction. Nifty may look slightly stronger. But what is looking weaker is Bank Nifty. On an hourly chart. This is a clear recipe, but daily is at a very strong support. See this? So there are a couple of supports that is coming around this area. So which tells me that immediate selling or immediately I cannot create any short positions because we were expected to take a bounce here, which is around 1944,400, 500 levels. Old resistance, old support, and also long-term moving average support all were around clustered around 44, 500, 400 levels. Even option data suggests support around 44, 500. RSI is bouncing up from 40. So there are several things that tells me that markets could bounce from 44, 500. Now this bounce, if I drop down to an hourly chart, so daily is at support, no doubts. But whereas hourly, we see a double top, lower highs and lower lows, 9 below 45, and whatever moving average we use, 10 below 50 or 200, whatever we use, it is still trading below. And now every time market comes to this long-term moving average, we try to find a resistance. See, now what is happening here is, see, market hits this long-term moving average, dip happens, and this dip is finding support at this short-term moving average, which looks pretty decent to me. So now how do I expect to turn around? Let me explain this. This is what I see in this chart. Because if daily support has to work out, then hourly has to work out too. So now what I see here is this. If this daily support at 44, 500 has to work, now this should have a higher low. So this dip that we saw took a support around 44, 600, 650 levels, which is good. Now, if the market sustains above this, so market sustaining above 44, 600 is a key. If this sustains above this and starts going higher, we will have a left shoulder, head and shoulder inverted confirmation. Any big up move will be only above 45 to 50 only. It will not go straight up because of a couple of things which from my experience I see. It will not go immediately up. So there might be some kind of a struggle here. Only then there is a likelihood of going up. So I would rather play sideways to bearish than be excessively or very, very aggressively bullish on this chart. Why I don't want to be bullish? again comes with a lot of experience, the way this looks like, because I need a setup. I need a lot of things to happen on this chart. So it might take 1 or 2 days. So 1 or 2 days, by the time the setup happens, then only we will see. But in any case, the up move will be above 45,200 only. So as long as the market sustains below 45,200. So if there is any background noise, please mute. So for me, daily is at support, Bank Nifty. So daily is at support, which is 44,500. So 44,500 is crucial. This is a crucial. Hourly still looks bearish with 45,200 as a resistance. So now between 44,500 and 45,200, play sideways to bearish, which means sell at the high, buy at the low. Sell at high and buy at lows. That works on Bank Nifty. Any big moves beyond this range is what I see. So make or break level is 45,200 and 44,500. In this range, play sideways. Once this range crosses, we confirm head and shoulder pattern and a daily support area. Bank Nifty looks slightly weaker compared to Nifty. But Nifty anyways is also again playing in the zone 600, 400. Once this range breaks, we can expect. So I see in the chart, I see one unfinished business on the downside. That means one dip, and then we'll probably expect this market to turn around is what I see on the charts. So let's pay sideways to bearish for now, and then we will investigate how the market pans out later in the week. Having said this, so which sector should I concentrate? Banks look certainly weak. If I look at sectors, which sector looks strong? Mid cap, small cap, or outperforming Nifty very comfortably. So basically, the money is flowing into mid cap and small cap, which is good because as long as the mid cap and small cap stays strong, we have no reasons to worry about markets turning around. Because usually when the market turns around, that means when the market turns bearish, usually the first stocks to sell off will be small cap and mid cap because they don't have the strong fundamentals. They don't have the cash flows. They don't have the pocket size to withstand any turnaround in the market in the economic cycle. So basically, small cap, mid cap, given the weak in the financial statements of their company, those will be the stock which will see a first turnaround. As long as the mid cap, small cap stays strong, you don't have to worry about big corrections in the market. Having said this, what stocks are better in mid cap? Is everything strong? Obviously not. The strong which are right now, see the top few companies, Apollo Tire, Ashok Leyland, both are part of auto. Aura Pharma is pharma, Bata, it's a consumer, Bharat Forge, BHL, Escorts. So I see three stocks coming from auto sector, which is Escorts, Ashok, Apollo, MRF. Again, part of auto ancillaries. If I extend further, REC, PFC, both are finance companies, which is basically into electrification or power finance. So basically, power finance companies are looking good. LS Housing Finance, again, NBFC, that is looking good. Lupin is pharma. So basically, I see more or less, if I see the stocks which are strong, basically in the mid cap, they are predominantly into autos or pharma or finance companies. Finance basically into power finance, not all finances. So I think we will consider those stocks first and then we'll investigate later on. So let me look into some other. This is irritating, was in this zero that is irritating. So let me try to find. Give me a sec. So let's first investigate what is happening in auto sector, and then we'll look into pharma. Pharma looking good because I traded pharma uh, for a while. Looking good. So look at Ashok Leyland first. Ashok Leyland looks pretty decent. We have had a good accumulation around this area between 150, 154. So, and then post that, we still see higher highs and higher lows formation in the market. Now, if you see this area, see there's been a small consolidation. So, if the market sustains above, Ashok Leyland sustains above this support, which is around 178, there is a higher chances that this might break outside. Before we conclude that, let's look at weekly chart. Weekly certainly has crossed a all-time high. This was the all-time high on weeklies or monthly, whatever. So there is an all-time high. We are comfortably staying above all-time high, which is a very healthy sign. So as long as market sustains above 167, 170, let's say this is still looking good. So a retest of this is a very good opportunity to buy. Now what I would probably look at is on a daily chart, I would want this market to sustain above 178. Pretty much the same. Take a look at this. Market makes an up move, some consolidation. So this support which was created around 160 was not reached, and then we saw a rally. Again, more or less the same version sitting here. I see this, and then if market sustains above 178, I expect this to break out and take one more plunge on the upper side, not plunge, as it's a upside breakout. So I would be looking at Ashok Leyland 178 and above. It has to sustain. Looks good. Nothing to worry in terms of stocks or structure of the stock. Let me put volumes because I want to look at volumes before concluding this. This.
Sir, you already have volumes, right?
Okay, I didn't see that. It looks good. This high volumes and this sell-off doesn't have great volumes as such. So it looks good. Ashok looks good. Ashok Maruti. It's in small correction. Let it finish its correction. Escorts. They have a high volume bearish candle, some kind of a climax is happening. So I will give it a pass. Eicher Motors, head and shoulder pattern, break this support, close this gap. Not good. Any other M&M? Mahindra, I don't like this volumes here. High volume collapse. Then this gap is created. Struggling to cross 1,500. Not very confident of that. Tata Motors, again, there is a high volume shooting star, which tells me some kind of a supply sitting here. I think it is not worth considering this. Let's look at auto ancillaries, Apollo Tire, or Hero Motors, two-wheelers. Hero Motors. Clean double top formation, and then volumes increasing on the downside. Not a healthy sign to consider this. So auto stocks not looking great, except Apollo Tires.
TVS.
TVS and Bajaj Auto. This is okay. This is okay. But peer group is not doing well. So that is a concern. Nah, I think I'll give it a pass to auto. Let me look at ancillaries. Apollo Tire. What is this? Apollo Tire looks better, but there are divergences. Like they don't let even two indicators.
Sir, I think free is up to 3.
Three allowed.
They have blocked me. I don't know why. Anyways, Apollo Tire, I'll look at. Apollo Tire daily chart looks good. The setup on RSI also looks pretty decent. I think Apollo Tire is on the verge of a breakout. The reason why I'm looking at Apollo Tire on the upside breakout is pretty simple. If I draw this line and call it as a resistance, and now subsequent sell-offs from this area, first sell-off was deep enough, second sell-off is even narrower, as in probably the shorter. So basically the sell-off from this area is getting narrower and narrower, which tells me that there is some kind of a demand that is happening here. So Apollo Tire, if it stays above 419, there is a higher chance that it will break upper side. So Apollo Tire, for me, it should sustain above 420. Plus, if it stays, we can expect a breakout on the upside. So that becomes my key areas to watch. 420 will be my levels to watch out for. So Apollo Tire, MRF, anyways, it is cruising. MRF had a huge volume breakout here. So Exide Industries, volume. Okay, we'll have some other stocks to watch out. So basically, these sectors, these stocks looks good on my. So these stocks will also get repeated on other sectoral performances. So we will look into that later on. Small cap, most of them are strong. National Aluminium, anyways, we have a buy on National Aluminium for a long time. Glenmark is strong. Exide is what we just looked at. This looks good, as in because there has been a support area created here with a good volume breakout. And now this market has sustained above this breakout area. This was a breakout area. So it has to sustain above this. I think the chart looks pretty decent as of now because I see long lower shadows in the last 2 days, which is Wednesday and Thursday, suggesting that there is some kind of a support or a demand coming up here around 250 level. So if 250 sustains, then we'll have further up move here. So this looks pretty decent to me. Exide. So when would I change this level which I'm writing here? This one is basically where I would change my view. 250 below, bullish view, rest 420, rest the view of bullishness, 178 below. So this is basically kind of a reference for me where I could probably change my view on the stock. Exide. And then what I do is I'll go to sectoral chart so that media is strong. Small cap, mid cap, media looks stronger. I think on media we are anyways. I'm bullish on Z. I think that's my view was pretty much available on social media platforms. So that
ಇವು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ದು
so Z was anyways bullish.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಎರಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋಣ ಹಾ
So Z was anyways bullish. So Z is still bullish for a simple reason that this was a resistance area. We are sustaining above this resistance area. One thing, and we still see some kind of a positive setup on RSI. Z, there is a positive reversal on RSI. We still see market bouncing off from this short-term or intermediate moving average. This is a 20-period moving average I have put. It's bouncing off from there. I think we still see a positive reversal. We still see market sustaining above this resistance. So looks like this Z looks still good. No need to worry about that. Sun TV. mm, 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 Okay, let me look at bigger picture on Sun TV. Sun TV weekly chart. Okay, okay. We are at a resistance area on Sun TV. Okay. What is the probability of market breaking out? Let's consult chart. See, any bearish candle that we see, it is not associated with any volume spikes. It suggests me that it's still looking good. But Sun TV being Sun TV and we are at resistance, this is where my concern is, where RSI is little overextended. So I'll wait. I'll wait on this. So that I'm not very confident to pull the trigger here. I'll be much more comfortable pulling on further sell off towards 500 levels. So another 4 5%, I'll be much more comfortable. So let's wait on that. So media, pharma is doing pretty well. I am holding pharma Bs in my portfolio. I am holding Glenmark. I'm sitting on a 30 plus percentage on Glenmark. I am holding Zydus Life Sciences. I'm sitting on a 50% on it. Small portfolio, nothing big. So let's look at pharma, Oro Pharma. Pharma Bs was the easiest choice. So Oro Pharma, after this kind of a rally, it would not be very comfortable. Biocon struggling around this area, so let's wait. Cipla. Are we at an all-time high? Yep. Okay, let's wait. Why I'm waiting is because here, this area, I see a long upper shadow here and slightly upper shadow here, both having volumes, and we are at resistance. Okay. There's no harm in waiting for a while. What are the sectors? Cipla, Arafuma, Glenmark, Lupin. Glenmark, I think we have missed the bus. And my entry was around 600, not before that. Somewhere around, remember where I entered also. Very small because I don't do much of equity. I think my holdings in Glenmark is very small. I invested 539 is my average cost there. I think 539 somewhere here. Entry was a little late, but anyways. Very small portfolio, nothing much. I also manage a couple of other portfolio wherein family portfolio, so that's where I bought in there. So Glenmark looks decent, but anyways, right now without any meaningful correction, it is very difficult in terms of risk to reward. Let's see any other auto stocks, pharma, which looks better. TVs, these are weak as far as the math is concerned. I done some math here to find out which is a strong stock and a strong sector. This looks weaker, but there is no harm in checking out what is happening in other stocks as well. So DVs, labs. This is really a DVs. Actually, this is on the verge of a breakout. See, that is a strong resistance for Divis Laboratories. And there is a sell-off, a second sell-off, and each sell-off here. So this is how I analyze this. See, this sell-off the candle size is very, very narrow. That means the bearish candles don't have that kind of a strength. Volumes not there. Again, there was a sell-off. Volumes are missing. If I look at volumes clearly, Spain. If I consider just volumes, this green candle, very huge volumes. Again, volume spike here, happen to be green, Again, these two, again, happen to be green candles. The biggest red candle is this in this entire lot. In this entire consolidation, there are two big red candles, this and this. Both don't have volumes. So according to what I see, this is poised for a breakout. For me, 3,600 should sustain. If 3,600 sustains on DVs, there is a higher probability of market breaking above 3,800. So I
But
like.
sir, can you go back to that chart once again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second and third green candles where you said that volumes is there, isn't there a price rejection from top? So shouldn't be considering that as a negative candle rather?
Which one?
This one, yeah, this one and the other one, just between those two red candles.
So long upper shadow is
Yeah.
the price rejection, correct?
Yeah.
What is this long lower shadow here? This and this and this and this. So now, Aditya, what you're looking at is you are only looking at this long upper shadow here. You are right. You are right. If I look at these two candles exclusively, you are right.
Yeah.
Now I want to use these two candles and look at the entire structure.
Okay.
How do I see higher highs and higher structure? Correct. Now the volumes are certainly in favor of up move. Volumes are spiking on the green candles. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So from here to here, do you see any red candle which has a high volume spike? No.
Not relatively. No.
And now, even though you say this is a long upper shadow suggesting some supply, market comes down. Is it going below 3,600? And whenever it comes to 3,600,
there is a
I see
rejection.
long upper shadows, lower shadows, I mean, correct?
Yeah.
Now you can create an Excel sheet, right? And you can put reasons why you are bullish, and you can also put reasons why you are bearish. Now on your bearish side, you only see these two rejections.
Okay.
On the bullish side, I see so many other factors where I can probably say this is on the verge of a breakout. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Right. So you cannot see, looking at the bigger picture matters. If I can consider only these two candles, so that means these two candles with this volume is sufficient enough to negate the entire structure which has happened in the last couple of months. Right?
Yeah. It should not.
So if at all, if that particular size candle, if it was something like this, if that was a candle like this with this volume, I would have been concerned. And if you have been following me on Twitter, I spoke about same thing on this candle also. On that candle, on that day, I mentioned this market is not going to go up. Buying climax. If I see an extraordinary volume with this rejection, yes. I don't see that happening there. I don't see this kind of a very prominent long upper shadow with a volume spike, which is alarming. I don't see both. So did I substantiate?
Got it, sir.
Yes, sir. So I would, what happened?
We are having that 5th August.
The sheet name, sir. Sheet name.
Yeah. So I let DVs, if it stays above 3600, there is a, this will becomes my reference, or maybe this is a support. If this holds 3600, there is a higher chance of 3800 break. I like that setup. I'll give it once to the upside. If by chance 3600 breaks, then I would change my view. As of now, I don't see I should be concerned of that. Dr. Reddy's, this is where my concern starts, because I see a lot of rejections here. Not one, two, three kind of rejections are there, but none of them is with volumes. This is the one, but markets are already staying above this. But my bigger concern on this move is it has moved from 4,400 to 5,600. Definitely RSI would be overextended above 70, 75 levels. That is where the concern is. Where if I buy here, where is my stop loss? I don't have stop loss to work on, so I will not consider this. I'll give it a pass and move on to some other pharma stock. Sun Pharma. This is a concern. Long upper shadow, two long upper shadows with volumes, probably the highest volume in the last couple of months on this rejection. Yes, this is a concern now. So Sun Pharma is out of my league. Sun, there is a lot of other Sun Pharma. There is Sun Divina. Something was there, right? I kept all the pharma stocks in one page. So what I do is watch list one. All pharma stocks are here. So PL, Biocon, Cipla, DVs, AstraZen, Alchem, PPL. AstraZen. Anna. Alchem. This looks good. There are stocks. I had suggested somebody on this stock. Let me show that to you. So this guy had asked me about recommendation. So I keep giving him some stocks. See this? He had asked me which stock to consider. Tech Mahindra, Wipro, TTK Prestige, Laurus Labs. I spoke about Laurus Labs. I was confident on Laurus Labs, not now. I think I sent it on 6th of July. Laurus Labs was actually alarmingly looking good, pretty decent for me on Laurus Labs. Right, so Laurus Labs, if you see, very, very good.
Yeah, it was under consolidation for longer period. I think
Yes,
this
sir.
week it moved a lot.
No, that is on my radar for almost a month now. 6th of July is where I saw this is gonna go better. This is a buy on dips, because I am looking at a very bigger picture on this. Right, I think this market will comfortably touch this area. Comfortably touch 450 is what I see in the looking at the structure. Because looking at the volumes are looking pretty decent on the upside. I see no problem. Laurus Labs touching 450 in couple of weeks. Looking at this, looking at a couple of days is also is not a surprise. But some dip, and I think I would consider around 375. 375 is where I look at Laurus Labs, but not immediately. But I do not want you guys to miss out on Laurus. I see setup looks decent. My 375 is where I would consider this. I have a bigger target, but anyways, immediate target should be 450. So if this what do you call this? These are called as what? All the labs. So let's look at all the labs. Alchem Labs is not looking good. Laurus,
Healthcare.
Lalpath. Lalpath Labs, look at the structure. There is a clear head and shoulder inverted, which confirmed. This head and shoulder, which confirmed. Now post that higher highs and higher lows are seen. I don't see much of a volume spike on the bearish candle. Green candle looks good. Now, if this Dr. Lalpath Labs sustains above 2,280, this pretty much looks decent. So this sustaining above this 2,002, it's a 2280 is important. So for me, I would say Dr. Lalpath was that 2280 is the support. It has to sustain above that. So further up move might come in this. Any other labs, healthcare?
Max.
I think Strides Pharma, which made double top.
Strides, Pharma. This is not a double top. So double top needs to be confirmed with a lot of other price action. So I don't see a double top here. Just a consolidation. But this red candle with volume, I would wait. But this low, see, this is a huge volume red candle. Let's say this is bearish. If this was bearish, there should have been a further continuation, but there is no continuation. So let's wait. This is not bearish anyways. But immediate up move may not happen because of this big red candle. So it might stall a bit.
Max.
Max Financial Services.
Max Healthcare.
Max Healthcare.
Oh.
Distribution has already happened. Apollo Hospitals. Let's look at. Breaking the support is not good. Right? I don't like supply coming up here like this. Any other stuff which we have missed out?
GlaxoSmithKline.
GSK. GlaxoSmithKline.
Ajanta
Pharma. I think Dr. Reddy or DVs looks better. The supply is not. I don't believe it. I got a pass. You missed it. So this dip has to come. Pharma Bees is a better one. So rather than you picking out the stock, Pharma Bees looks very decent.
I think small cap Anu Pharma, that also gave a good read.
How do you
ANUH.
Anu? It has already gone up.
Yes.
Metropolis Healthcare. Yes, sir. I look into it. Okay, Metropolis. I think we discussed last week. I think you brought this up last time also, I guess. Yes. There's a consolidation, breakout. And now what I want is, I want this trend line to be broken for me to consider buy. So I want this market to go above 1430, let's say 1450. I will consider this. Structure looks good. Structure looks good. So Metropolis. Was that price? 1450 break. Triggers buy. I think this looks decent. Pharma, sorry. But Pharma looks okay. I think most of them are performing well. Aster DM. Aster DM. Hospital chain. This has been doing well. Okay. Stout. Okay. These guys are expanding. Aster. Looks pretty decent. I think more or less Pharma Bees, this is a easy bet. Looking at the structure. Individual stock, I think I like DVs. I'll watch it very closely. Laurus Labs, you're on a dips, we'll close it. I think these four looks decent. Rest all already done. Good, given a good run up last couple of days. So Pharma, Torrent Pharma. I didn't consider Torrent. Let's look at Torrent Pharma. Where do I enter? There is no entry points for more. Our easiest case for me is Pharma Bees. I'm sitting on about 8-9% on Pharma Bees. I bought Pharma Bees. Torrent Pharma. Okay, having said this, I want you to pay attention to power stocks because something is cooking up here. NTPC, I think I'm watching this from at least 10, 12 years. This is one of the lethargy stocks. Very, very slow moving stock. Just a lot of your patience. I saw for decades, I saw this around between 100 to 200. See this? So for a greater part of last decade, this was between 160 to 80. It has not crossed 160 for a very, very long time. I think we are seeing about 200. God knows, after about 14 years, NTPC is showing some sign of life after 10, 12 years, or maybe 13, 14 years. There's something cooking up in this stock. What is happening? I have absolutely no idea. I think it definitely rewards because why is this giant? See, this is a breakout. If this breakout happens, this breakout will be an all-time lifetime breakout. Already we are sitting above the high of 2009, which is around 200. Now any dips to 200 on NTPC looks pretty decent. What fundamentals? I have absolutely no idea what fundamentals are suggesting. But all of a sudden, a stock which is so lethargic start showing some signs of an up move. With this volume spikes, something is cooking up. So NTPC, it is not an immediate go ahead. In next couple of days, we can definitely expect this sell-off or some kind of a correction. The correction, if I get a chance between 200 205, I would bring this into my portfolio. Something happening in power stocks. Something is happening. I would definitely look at NTPC, consider NTPC around 200. Why is this back into life after 10, 15 years? Look at Tata Power. Tata Power was also one such stock which was below 100 rupees for a very long time. Look at this. I never saw this Tata Power, staying above 100 for a very, very, very long time. See this? Take a look at this. In the history of Tata Power, it stayed below 100. See this? See, 2009 high was 120. It broke 120 here. After that, no turning back. It broke all-time high also, which was at 159. After 159 break, it almost doubled in a matter of couple of weeks. Look at 2009 break. It has to challenge all-time high at 150. And after that, there is absolutely no turning back. This is the exact structure I see in NTPC, where we have managed to break 2009 highs. Now we have to worry about market breaking all-time high, which is sitting little higher than that. So take a look at this. So have we managed to break 2009 high at 200? Yes. Now where is the next hurdle? 240. So if we stay above 200, we will most likely to challenge 240 in couple of weeks. NTPC, don't forget, there is something cooking up here. So I like NTPC. It is not an immediate call, but I would watch this very closely because the structure looks as good as Tata Power couple of last year. So Tata Power, look at all the power stocks, Star and Power. Look at weeklies. So this is a weekly chart. So whenever you break a life high, you are in an uncharted territory. You will see this 400, 600 plus 50%. So it broke this somewhere 2 years back. I am also watching, look at all these companies, power and power related companies like Power Finance, which basically finance these guys. Look at this. So once it broke life high at 180, look at this. Power Finance, REC. This is also into rural electrification. See, REC broke a major 4 or 5 years high. Now look at the way it is exploding. I would pay attention to PFC, REC, all power related stocks. Close attention is good. IEX, Indian Energy Exchange. Look at Indian Energy Exchange. It has collapsed or given up almost 50%, more than 50%. Now what is happening here in IEX? Aditya, remember I spoke, I think I sounded almost similar when I spoke about ITC in your batch.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right, ITC gave a fantastic returns. And I would probably have the same opinion on all these stocks which I'm right now pointing out. IEX, look at this volume, huge volume, but long lower shadow suggesting that some kind of a climax in selling. And now what I need in IEX is breakout above this. And I also want this to close this gap. So this may not be so immediate. Definitely it is not going to be immediate. It is a lot of resistance to cross, but worth watching out all the power stocks, power and power related stocks. In the stock, we missed out on power.
Power grid, sir.
Power grid. JSW Energy. I think that I posted on. See, See, all power stocks are making lifetime highs. See this? Good, but I'll keep those in radar. Which is the other one I just spoke about?
JSW.
JSW Energy. This I tweeted a couple of days back. Oh, a good setup, yeah. Ascending triangle. We broke an ascending triangle pattern. And now take a look at this. A fall, this fall, the volumes are reducing on this fall. And now if you see this, markets are holding this for almost 10-15 days. And now I see some, so once this starts going above 300, you will see one more round of up move. I want to see a weekly once. Look at this. Good. See, volumes on weekly is also looking pretty decent. So if it sustains about 280 or 300 above, I think JSW Energy. I have no idea about fundamentals, but above 300, we will have one more up move in power stocks. So power and power stocks, please do not forget this. There's something cooking up in these stocks. Buy some portfolio, that's not a problem. Some portfolio you can always dedicate to these stocks. Cash portfolio, if you want to do in futures, yes, you can do futures. Again, you should know how to handle futures position anyways. Having said this, I am also somehow confident about these stocks. Tech Mahindra. I like the setup. See, look at this. I bought it around here, 1154. Sorry, not 1154, 1200 I bought it at. I was sitting on a 6% gain, only to give up next week, fueled by Infosys guidelines. But look at this. Should I be worried about these two red candles? Or should I be focusing on a bigger picture where I see a very long accumulation phase on a weekly setup, which lasted for almost a year? So should I be worried about this 7-8% correction or a large accumulation phase which lasted almost a year? I think the low was June last year and we are about to break July. So I am absolutely confident of IT stocks. I don't see a setup, a temporary fall fueled by guidelines from Infosys, but I still held on to TechChem. I might add to TechChem, and I like Wipro setup. What fundamentals? I have absolutely not interested in fundamentals of this stock. This is a weekly chart I'm speaking about. Look at two left shoulders, one big head, one right shoulder. And now from here, there was a dip. This dip is stopping short here only. This you will clearly see on a daily chart. See this? This fall did not, though there was some bad news from Infosys and the guidelines they were projecting for the next quarter. That bearish news was not sufficient to create a fresh low in Wipro. And though there was a sell-off, the volumes were not great enough on the selling side. Now, on Friday, we saw a green candle, and that green candle happened to have a higher volume. See this? What is this? So 420 and above, I see Infosys doing pretty good. I like IT companies. I have bought ITBs.
Wipro.
Yeah. No, I like ITBs. I bought ITBs, and you can also consider buying ITBs. Infosys, I will give it a pass. Let them worry about their nonsense, whatever they're saying. TCS looks decent. See this. This is a resistance which we cannot deny. And now this resistance, first sell-off was big. Though there was a negative news, this negative news was not strong enough to create a low below this. That means this sell-off is stopping short. And now this big green candle had huge volumes, and the subsequent sell-off doesn't have great volumes. I am somehow biased. I think I look at power, IT. Power and IT looks pretty decent. Mindtree, what is that? LT Mindtree, na? How do you say it?
LTIM.
LTIM. Look at this. Look at the consolidation. And look at this market holding above 4750. Look at Naukri. Look at this Naukri. Other stocks are struggling, and this man managed to break and sustain above this resistance. Look at the volumes. This is going to fly further. This volumes estimate, this is going to further go up. So I like this Naukri, Coforge, okay, HCL Tech. Any mid-cap companies? IT? Decent here. I don't
KPIT Techs.
have absolutely no worry about the structure. KPIT. So see, whatever Infosys said, I think it's not worried. I would certainly keep IT in my kitty, whatever it might be. Infosys, leave it aside. Apart from Infosys, rest all looking decent. Anything else we missed out? Mid-cap? IT mid-caps?
One small cap, I think FSL we discussed, I think last session, and it is doing good
Yeah, yeah.
only, sir.
First Source Solutions. Was it your pick, Amal?
Yeah, but yeah, it was for me it is 30%, but it's good. I'm holding.
Yeah, looks good. Look at this consolidation. This is buy on dips. This is buy on dips. Be soft.
Yeah, Birla Soft, that is also same, exactly same.
Birla Soft is in futures. That's good. It's already up. It's already doubled. I will wait for dips. Yes, looks good. So IT, don't leave. IT and power, please do not ignore. So why I don't want you to ignore is because, see, these IT companies, let's say TCS, have underperformed for larger part of 2022. Now it is in consolidation. And to add to this, the global IT index, NASDAQ, which is predominantly IT companies in the US, has made a bottom and it is touching its life high. And now if I look at the structure, looks pretty decent. It's bullish. Right? So global IT firms are looking great. Even global IT firms were not looking great for greater part of 2022. Only in 2023, they started booming. You should look at Facebook and all these guys. They have almost doubled. Meta, Facebook. Look at this. $98 to $300, 300%. I think the value was in US than India. These are large cap companies, not small companies. Large cap companies, so Meta, that's Facebook, 380 to 84 and 84 straight to 300 in last 7-8 months. So wish we had access to trading in US. So IT and power, you have to keep them on radar. Having said this, auto not great. Auto not great. We looked into auto. Banking, I don't see any banks are actually are looking pretty good. Few are there. Definitely PSU banks are looking definitely good, no doubts. Tata Chem will be Tata Chem, sir. Tata Chemicals. Yes. Looks pretty good. I like that chart setup. Tata Chem. Look at this consolidation in a breakout. I like this, sir. Breakout with huge volumes, dip, no volumes are seen on the downside. I like this. If Tata Chemicals is like this, how about UPL? One more IT, one more, sorry. Okay, not looking great. Give it a pass. Banks PSUs are okay. PSUs like Canara Bank, PNB, Bank of Baroda. This is not looking good. Okay, give it a pass. Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda. Okay, these are stocks which are doing pretty decent. Look at Punjab National Bank on a larger time frame. This is trying to break out of all its. See, this traveled from 240, and now we are looking at the structure. PSU banks are looking decent. PNB and Bank of Baroda. Yes. Bigger picture. Okay, it is almost touching the high. PNB, SBI. I am closely watching SBI also. I think yesterday, what happened to result yesterday? I think yesterday was the result, right? Resistance. I was expecting a breakout upside. Okay, the volumes are not great, so we will give it a pass. So basically, let's see. Let's keep banks aside. Not looking great as of now. So banks is out of my radar. Finance services is mostly again extended banks with 2, 3 or 4 exceptions. So PFC, we are considering PFC, REC, these two are on anyways on radar. Rest not great. FMCG did show strength. I think a lot of profit booking is happening in these stocks now. Yeah, chemical and fertilizer both don't look, sir. The odds of Tata Chemicals doing well, given the sector is not doing well, is 30, 40%, 50%, so 50 chance. So I would not do my usual position sizing on Tata Chemicals because I like the setup. I like the accumulation that has happened in the last couple of months. Since sector support is not there, rather than going with the usual volumes, let's say if I'm planning to invest, let's say 50,000 or 1 lakh, I would probably go 50% of it. If sector is also supporting, then I would have gone decent enough. But since the sector support is not there, I would probably play around with position sizing rather than giving up on the stock. FMCG companies are actually into some kind of a profit booking. So we give it a pass. There's nothing much we have to worry about. IT, though this tells me weak, but I see potential in this setup. Metals, actually, I think if you remember, I had said yes to National Aluminium. I think I'm sitting on some 7% gains on National Aluminium. So from family accounts, I'm buying. I bought National Aluminium anyways, somewhere around 84, 85 around this area, maybe before a breakout only I bought. So this looks good. National Aluminium looks good. I bought Tata Steel around 112 or 113 in one of the family accounts. So this looks good. Still, somewhere here I bought. Okay, so the structure still looks good on the upside. So few metal stocks already run up, and I am holding this one. If you remember, I had tweeted about this one, United Breweries. This I am holding on. I bought around 1,000. I don't remember. Problem is I don't have the password because I manage everything on phone. I don't know where this one of my family accounts. So I don't remember. This I like United Breweries. I think that I have posted on Twitter also that I like this stock. I think I bought somewhere here, I guess 1,400 or 1,480, somewhere around that area. I'm sitting on a decent gain on this. The structure looks good. See, look at the higher highs and higher lows. Look at the volume spikes on the up move. The down move, there is absolutely no volumes. The structure looks pretty decent. So I have bought this UBL Breweries, sitting on a 6 or 7% gain on this also. I don't remember how much is the gain. Most of other stocks are not great. Tata Steel I bought. Oil and gas. Well, neither oil and gas. Let's look at Reliance, the big man. Not the big man, second big man of Nifty now. Indian markets. Reliance Industries. There's something interesting sitting here. I think all the adjustments have happened, right?
Yeah, it's done.
I think adjustment has happened for the Geo exit. Now take a look at this. Let me look at a weekly setup. See, we are challenging all-time highs. This dip was basically because of that Geo whatever. But now we are at a lifetime high. So now if Reliance starts breaking above 2,600, so this will start making a new high. With that, your other stocks will also start making, Nifty will also start rallying. Now, if I look at Reliance Industries, see, this is a support area. From this support area, markets are bouncing off. When the bouncing is happening, I see volumes are also spiking. Definitely momentum is also in favor, volatility also favor. So I think Reliance, if this sustains about 2,460, 450, given this volume spikes, I think this is ready to break its lifetime high. Reliance, for me, it should sustain about 2,004. What is this? Say 2,450. If it sustains, there's a higher chances this stock is going to break upside. Reliance, if I look at Reliance, NTPC, sorry, not NTPC, ONGC. ONGC is making decent progress. Gale. Yeah, good. See this. What volumes? Where was this? Okay, let's wait on this. Gale. BPCL. Give it a pass. IOC. Give it a pass. Now, all the refineries are not doing well, but the frontline refineries are doing well.
Oil India Limited.
This looks pretty decent compared to others. So Oil India and Reliance looks good in the oil and gas sector. Yeah, more or less, I think that's the one which I want to look at. Anything else? Any other sector which needs our attention? Let's look into it. Private banks, PSU banks, realty, I see some kind of a profit.
Can you look at SBI once again? Is there any trend line breakdown?
SBI
Since
is struggling.
last 4 days, it is continuously going down.
It is at resistance. It's at all-time high. 620. From there, I see quite a kind of a sell-off with volumes are also. I don't worry about the trend line because I'm not a great fan of trend lines. But the structure doesn't look good, especially the way it started breaking down from its resistance area with volumes. Momentum is also not looking great on that. I don't like that.
Yeah, after result, it is starting
Yeah.
negative trend. So can this impact other PSUs?
Probable. Anyways, the entire banking structure doesn't look great. Even Nifty Financial Services, Nifty Fin. If you look at the entire structure, see, look at this. It has already broken this support also. Finance, I'll wait on finance. I probably would keep my focus on the stocks, which power stocks, especially power and some pharma, selective pharma and IT. So this is where I'll keep my focus on power, IT, to some extent on healthcare, like lab, any labs and clinics or whatever it is. Any other stock you want to consider? Any odd stocks that I've missed? Sector-wise, I've covered most of them. This is
Sir, Balrampur Chini. If you want to
Sugar,
say.
I think sugar sector is doing good
Balrampur,
moves.
Balrampur Chini. Okay. Once this breaks above 425, it looks good, no doubt. There's the likelihood of breaking 425. Let's look at other Rampur sugar, na?
Oh, Dhampur,
Dalmia
Dwarka.
Sugar is there. Dalmia.
Dalmia Bharat sugar, it seems maybe. No, this is not great.
Triveni.
Triveni. Triveni Engineering, yes.
Triveni Engineering is sugar.
Yeah, it is sugar into plus power.
Okay, this looks good. As in, yeah, this looks decent. US sugar. What is that US sugar?
Uttam Sugar, I think, or something.
Uttam.
Uttam Sugar, yes.
Not.
Yes, sir. Looks decent enough. So it is
Sir,
breaking all time high.
Ugar sugar.
Huh?
Ugar sugar. UGAR.
UGAR. Ugar Sugar Works. This has done a decent rally, so I can't look at Balrampur Chini looks on the verge of a breakout. Above 420, thus looks decent enough.
Renuka is there.
Renuka will hit circuit.
See Renuka Sugars. Yeah. The volumes, the setups. Yeah, sugar commodity stocks. I'm not a big fan of commodity stocks, but anyways, these are Balrampur. Renuka Sugars. Be a little more careful with commodity stocks. They tend to have some wild movements. So somebody's question about India Cements. India Cement stocks. Yeah. Let's look
It's
at.
daily and weekly
Yes,
also
sir.
taking support at
Um,
RSI, moving average, everything looking
Yes.
falling.
Yes. Head and shoulder inverted, resistance becoming support, volume spiking. I like this. I think I saw Apollo, sorry, not Ambuja also spiking 2 to 3 days back.
Yeah, there was some merger news was there.
I have absolutely no idea about the news because I don't read any newspapers. ACC, yeah. Ultratech,
Ramco.
Pro Siemens. I think ACC, Ambuja, India Cement looks good. Any other? Kumar, any other cement sector stocks? I think
Kesoram, I guess. Kesoram.
Dalmia Bharat.
That's the sugar.
No, Dalmia Cement is also there. Dalmia Bharat Limited, Dalmia Bharat Sugar. This is sugar, this is cement.
Okay.
One more which goes with G by name G. It's a conglomerate. It has certain verticals.
Heidelberg Cement.
How do you spell it? Yeah, it's all a very great setup. Yeah, cement stocks, I think we can keep selectively. Cement sector also looking great. Cement sector looks good. So cement, for me, this takeaway is cement, power IT, commodity stocks, then sugar. This decent, looks decent. What else? Grasim, yes, sir. Grasim. We are already at all-time high. I think I would rather focus on stock which are. This will take little while to break because it is all-time high. If it breaks all-time high, it's gonna go faster. We can watch it very closely, sir. I think because once all-time high breaks, it is very good because it's gonna go crazy. Anything else you want to consider? Look at S&P. Concern with S&P is we are into some kind of a short-term correction, not a bear market, definitely not. I don't see such kind of a setup. So market could find support here around 4,450. From there, we will start probably bouncing up. So structure is suggesting a correction. So is Nifty and Bank Nifty also. I'm not very bullish on Nifty and Bank Nifty. It will take a while. But otherwise, other companies are looking still good.
Sir, finish.
USD INR. Watching, let's see if this is it a consolidation which will lead to a trend continuation, or this could be distribution is what I'm watching. I'll give it I usually want to stick to bullishness than bearishness in this. Jubilant, it works. Okay. This pizza buy is doing well. Yes. FMCG kind of whatever. Jubilant food. Yes, this looks good. Because it is coming out of an accumulation phase, then a secondary trend, and then yeah, the setup looks pretty decent. Bandhan Bank, yeah. Bandhan Bank Limited.
Mostly a secondary trend, sir.
Yeah, the setup looks, this is secondary trend downfall, and then I think this variant shoulder pattern inverted up move, and then 2-3% looks good. Bandhan Bank looks good, but only thing is other banks are not performing, so I'm not sure how this works. But interesting setup, upside only. Right, and you keep an eye on crude oil. I think because this is on the verge of a breakout. I think this tweet I have made on crude, I am bullish. See this breakout, consolidation breakout. Look at this consolidation. Here, a breakout. Now we are on the verge of breaking this out. Will it break out in one go? Not necessarily. But looking at this 3-month consolidation, I think when I posted it was $76. I think I was looking at $82, 8-9% up. The chart looks pretty decent. I think there comes some consolidation here. It's not going to break out straight away. If it breaks out, well and good. But some consolidation here and then a breakout is very good. Definitely, I'm looking at crude oil. If somebody is looking at crude, yes, that is good. Indigo. Indigo. Indigo, I am not very comfortable because when crude oil starts breaking out, it will start increasing the input cost for Indigo. I don't know how far this will sustain. Structure looks good, but somehow I'm not very comfortable with Indigo. I'm not comfortable with this. A couple of other stocks. When it comes to stocks which are basically depending on raw materials, and 60-70% of their cost is basically raw materials. And that raw material, which is crude, aviation, if that is on the verge of a breakout, my concern starts.
And it also affects paints.
Yeah, it should affect paints, Asian Paints and Berger. Yes, possible. Anything else that we want to consider? I think more or less, yep. So the takeaway is, don't ever leave this power. Something is cooking up. IT on the verge of a breakout. Mid cap and small cap are already traveling, but large cap is yet to catch up to them. So I think more or less they're going to catch up. Cement stocks looks decent. Jubilant, a fresh odd stock breaking out. It's good. So more or less a decent week. Nifty sideways. Bank Nifty slightly weaker. We have to have further evidence for an up move yet. I don't see an evidence, but so I'll keep it sideways. This is the level I will watch for an upside confirmation. All right. Anything else? No questions. Then we'll take a break for the day and then we'll meet next lecture. Done?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.